Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're going to take a look at a Homelite 3816 chainsaw. The customer complaint is that it doesn't want to start and run for him. I think it sat around for a while. It's got old gas in it. We're going to look into it here. I don't know how old this saw is. I'm not really up to speed on, the newer plastic Homelites. It looks pretty shiny. Can't be that old. Or either that or it's just not used that much. So I did try and start this saw, and it wasn't going to go. I mean, the fuel tank, it didn't really look that bad in there. This cover's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm not sure what we got going on here. It's hooked up in front there. Well, we got tools. We can unhook it. Yeah, it's pretty clean under here. Let's look in the cylinder. Let's hope it's clean inside there. I mean, that don't look bad. And a quick look inside with the inspection light. We should be good to go. We got good spark. So why wouldn't this thing start? Well, sometimes when you have good fuel in the tank, it's only because they just poured good fuel in over the top of fuel that's sat in there for months. And that might be the case here. But there's another, look at this primer bulb. It's not releasing. When the bulb doesn't return to its regular shape, it's because it can't pull fuel through the carburetor. So why wouldn't it be able to pull fuel through? Well, the filter itself could be plugged. The fuel line could be pinched, or the most common reason is the micro screen in the carburetor is blocked up. And when that screen is blocked, the primer can't pull fuel past it and into the carb and then return back to tank. So we know we got a carburetor problem. Let's pull the carb off of this thing. I've never had one of these apart before. My T20 bit, it needs to be dressed up or replaced. So I had a brand new one here ready to go because I knew that one was getting sloppy. And I guess the lesson here is you don't have to put a piece of tape on your bits like I do, but if you're trying to be efficient and all your bits look the same, mark them somehow. Use a paint pen, whatever. I put a piece of tape on my T20. I know that's the three sizes I keep on the bench are 20, 25, and 30. I keep the 27 nearby when I'm working on steels. But they all look the same at a glance. If you see one with a piece of tape on it or a paint mark or whatever you want to do, you can easily grab that and keep moving. The older you get, the more squinting you got to do to read the sizes on them things. So there's a piece, I guess a gasket that I've never seen before. I've never been in one of these. That gasket just seems kind of a weird shape. So we want to pull the fuel line off the carburetor. Let's get this fuel out of the tank. And you can see it's not terrible looking. Certainly has oil in it, and it wasn't that brown. Alright, here's a fuel line that's going to come off. This is the one that goes to the primer bulb. It's pulling fuel through. There's a piece of throttle linkage that's holding us up on this side. There is a fuel line on that side that's holding us up. And if you look real close on the front of the carburetor, you can see there's a fitting that's for the impulse line. That impulse line runs the fuel pump in the carburetor. Alright, we're going to open this thing up and take a look and try and find that blockage. Single screw holds the fuel pump cover in place. And underneath this cover is a micro screen. And you can see by all the dark material in there that it's blocked up. Yeah. So, why is it blocked up? And what is that dark substance? You know, one possibility is that the fuel filter is just not filtering very well. Another possibility is a hole in the fuel line and it's just letting dirt in. And yet another possibility would be that the black substance is fuel hose that's breaking down and ending up in that screen. So now we're just matching up gaskets. And you can usually tell which gasket goes without looking too deep by an identifying shape on the edge of the gasket, like that round nub on the corner of that gasket there. Not every gasket that looks like that one has that round nub, so some of the other ones might be just slightly different. You know, you can certainly stack them on top of each other and match them up that way, but that little identifier makes it quicker. Alright, this side is going to be our metering diaphragm. This is the gasket that opens and closes the needle in the carburetor, allowing fuel in. And a lot of times you'll find this gasket is stiff, and that's why a saw won't run or why it floods all the time. This one's not in bad shape, but we already know the reason that the saw won't run right is because of the plugged up micro screen. So we got our gasket off, and we're just going to clean things up here and get our new gaskets on. You know, this is what I would call a carb refresh. Anytime I'm going to open up a carb and look, I'm going to put a kit in it. I'm not just going to pull the covers off and then put them back on without fresh gaskets. I'm not putting a new needle in the carburetor or metering lever or spring or any of that stuff. I'm not running the carburetor through the ultrasonic cleaner. We've identified the problem, we've fixed the problem, and it's going to go back together. And what do we got inside the tank here? We're taking another look at that fuel filter now. Yeah, that line was breaking down. Although right there it looked like it was pretty tough, didn't it? Must have been deteriorating from the inside out. So we'll take a new piece of black rubber line, cut a taper on the end, and feed it through the hole in the top of the tank. This line that I'm using here is the official Echo branded fuel line. I've had really good luck with that. So I got just enough of an end pushed through the tank that I can grab it and pull it through. And we'll flush cut that end and put a filter on it. Alright, carb's going to go back on. First step is going to be to get this throttle linkage in place. Because if you got the carb bolted up, that linkage isn't going to go on. Before I can push the carb flush against the intake, I got to get that fitting for that impulse line pushed in the hole in the intake boot. Fuel line's going back on. Air filter base plate, a funky gasket, or whatever that thing is. I guess it was a gasket. Kind of a tight squeeze here getting these bolts in place. What size bit is that? Well, it's a T20, obviously. It's got a piece of tape on it. Alright, we're getting snugged up. Getting our air filter on. Get this thing buttoned up, see if it runs. I don't like the cover on this thing. I mean, it fits on there nice and snug once it's on there, but getting it in place was not simple. Alright, we're going to use some fresh fuel. And then we're going to see if this thing's going to prime now that we have cleared that blockage in the carburetor. First we got to purge some air out of it. There we go. Let's see if it runs. So it didn't run very good, did it? Well, we do have our problem fixed. We don't know if the homeowner's been battling this since it was new. So the rest of this video is going to just be tweaking the carburetor a little bit, close enough to get it outside and drop it in a log and fine tune it. So that's all I'm going to have for you on the Homelite 3816 chainsaw carb refresh. Thanks for watching. Later.